Welcome to Home Farm. Autumn is well and truly here, and that means that this time of year is dedicated towards pruning and shaping some of our trees. In order to get that done, Darlac have very kindly sent us 3 different types of loppers, and we'll be putting those to the test. The first lopper that we're going to be looking at is this bypass geared lopper. What it's supposed to do apparently is that this gear mechanism that is located here is supposed to make the cutting action a lot stronger and a lot easier. And this particular lopper allows you to cut branches that are a maximum of 35 mil. In terms of first impressions, they feel very solid, they feel very heavy. All of these metal bits feel very solid. And it's also got the extendable handles that you can drop down, which gives you added reach when you're trying to cut higher up. Next up, we've got this bypass lopper. This is part of Darlac's Expert range. They are made from aluminium. They are lightweight, but they feel very sturdy and very, very solid. They've got a shock absorber in the middle, and the full length of the handles is 44 centimeters, and they extend to 78 centimeters. They feel very solid, they feel very good. I'm going to be really keen to try these out. We've left the biggest and most serious of the loppers for last. This is the Telescopic Ratchet Lopper. If you can see, it's got a really big blade and cutting mechanism. It's been designed for really big branches, and it can cut up to a maximum of 50 mils. So all in all, we've got 3 very different types of lopper. We're going to put them to the test and see exactly how each of them perform. So to get the ball rolling, we're going to be using the Expert bypass loppers. What we want to do is go to this tree, and we're going to be taking the top off a little bit just to give it a little bit of shape. We're going to change gears now quite literally to the geared bypass lopper, which is this one. It's got the little gear mechanism on it, and we're going to start using this on our shrub area. We're going to start with the buddleia. We're going to just take some of the dead flowers off now, and probably in about a month's time we're going to come and give it a hard cut before the winter. So now we've got a Scots pine, I think, and what we want to do with this tree is we're going to try and take this bottom branch off just to create a bit of airflow and to give this tree a bit more shape. The thing that we're dealing with here is a very thick branch, and for that we're going to be using this Telescopic Ratchet Lopper from Darlac, which is basically designed to take thick branches with a lot more ease. So this lopper is capable of cutting up to 50 mils or 5 centimeters. Looking at that branch, I think it's about 40 mils or 4 centimeters. So it should do quite a good job of that. There is an instruction as to how you should use this lopper. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this handle where the Darlac logo is straight and not used, and you basically cut with the right handle, and it basically clicks and closes. I've got to say that was a lot easier than I thought. When you actually apply the pressure, and initially it feels quite tight, but then the harder you push, it actually cuts through it, and that branch was very easy to cut. The other thing I'm really impressed about is how clean that cut is. So when we actually look at it, it's perfectly smooth. There's nothing serrated about it, and it's important for pine trees or trees in general because it prevents any disease. So we'll cut this branch again twice because Kirsten wants to use this as part of her decoration inside the house. So we'll just demonstrate yet again how this actual lopper cuts. I've got to say, we've cut a lot of branches since we've been at our small holding, and this is really going to simplify things. We've got a lot of trees to deal with, so I'm really pleased with this. I think that this is going to be a tool that we're going to be utilizing a lot. So the sun's gone in, it's getting a bit cool now, but we have spent the better part of this afternoon cutting a variety of different things with the loppers from Darlac, just so we can get a good feel for them. And generally speaking, we found the quality of them to be very good. So the first lopper that we used today was this bypass lopper as part of their expert range. What's interesting to note about it is that the actual handles, they've got these little holes and grooves, so basically as you slide the handle down it clicks into them. That was actually quite handy when we were cutting the trees where we're having to reach quite high. They felt sturdy, they were quite well balanced in terms of the actual reach and the cutting, and because the actual blades are still new, they were very sharp and they had no issue getting through any other branches that we were trying to get through. We then used the geared bypass lopper on our buddleia shrub. It is actually quite an interesting device in that it feels quite stiff when you're opening the actual lopper, but as you tighten it does actually cut quite easily. So I do think that the actual mechanism does assist with cutting through thicker branches. Unlike the other lopper that we just looked at from the expert range, you can actually adjust these handles to the exact position that you want them to be on, so you can stop them at various places. And obviously the reach is at a maximum, but I think 76 centimeters, which is very similar to the other lopper. These telescopic ratchet loppers were my favorite, and the reason for that is because we've got a lot of trees on our small holding, and there's a lot of branches that we've struggled to cut in the past, so we've had to bring out saws or something like that to try and get through them where typical loppers couldn't get through them. These guys are going to be really handy for us going forward. They've also got extendable handles, much like the expert range with the little grooves, and these are by far the longest. These extend to over 1 meter, so they are very long, and I think they are going to be very practical for us purely because of their reach and the power. What was also quite interesting when we looked at the card that came with these loppers is that most of the parts on here are changeable when necessary, and the blade is sharpenable. This is the first time that we have used Darlac products, and for the price point I do think that they are pretty good quality, and they should be quite easy to come by in your hardware store or local garden center. So I hope you found this video useful and it's given you some insights into these Darlac loppers. We have got some other gardening reviews coming out soon, so if you're interested, please subscribe and ring the bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.